All right, now this guy sitting next to me is probably one of the busiest men in the animation game that I know, and I've had the pleasure to talk to at San Diego Comic-Con. Joining us for State of Streaming because, he stays busy creating cartoon cookies for us to consume. Haha. Co-creator of Solar Opposites EP for Koala Man, and now the Paloni Show Halloween special, Justin Roiland. How are you, Justin?
Terrible. No, what? I'm kidding. I'm good.
It's because you're talking to me again. We meet again. Your arch nemesis.
One of my favorite
here.
people. No, I love you. No, I'm good.
Now I'm super excited for the Paloni Show. This is a thing now. This is like OG fans. I feel like they're definitely familiar with the Paloni family comedy show from Roiland TV.
Okay, yeah, that's a deep cut. Yeah,
but
it is that.
What can you tell me?
Yeah, I mean, so the dream was always to. I mean, this is an old dream, but I just wanted to create a variety show with a bunch of funny, segments, sketches, hosted, but with think of Crypt Keeper or Crypt Keeper sort of checks in at the beginning and end, but I wanted to keep checking in with this family.
Show, almost.
Yes, that's a good example. Yeah, like Creep Show, but so you keep checking in and you've got an overarching narrative, but you're seeing a bunch of really fun individual, shorts, and so. This was a dream I wanted to do forever ago. I was like, okay, I'll figure it out, and I pitched it, and it got picked. What was it? Riley, one of the old school FBC executives. He was like, these guys are too good for late night, because I was a late night show. I was gonna take over Mad TV, and then he's like, this is too good for late night. This is a primetime show, and I knew that was the kiss of death. I'm like, this is not ever gonna be a primetime show. There's no way. And then it just died, and then I got busy with other stuff, and then Rick and Morty hit, and Solar, and here we are. But I'm just excited to make the show, and the difference, I guess, is that now rather than the writer's room coming up with all these sketches, we went out to a bunch of different amazing creators to create content. So it's kind of an incubator in a way. Some of these folks are just super talented, or all of them, I shouldn't say some, all of them are super talented. But it's like we focused on the Paloni story and then throwing to, now check out our next Halloween short, and then you get to watch something that's made by somebody that's special, and their creative juices are flowing, and they're and then we just kind of had a lot of focus tests where we were like, okay, where do we put this stuff, and what's the best order, what's the best flow of shorts to kind of make the whole thing sing, But ultimately, it's been a dream come true because working with Hulu is just incredible. Everyone there is amazing. They believe in it. There's not a lot of executive notes. It's pretty much we see this and then we're really lucky and fortunate to get to work with all these people we love. All these creators that we're fans of that are making cool that we can plug in to this special.
And I love that you got one of my favorite YouTubers, Psychic Pebbles, Zach Cattle. He's one of the most iconic voices I've ever heard. I love the way he talks.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a good impression of him. You know him better than I do.
Maybe a little weirder, a little more bubble throaty.
A little more.
So he's great.
What I love about what you do, I feel and other creators, kind of like Zach as well. Michael Cusack is another one. I love that you all have these ideas that you've worked on for so long, or previous ideas. And I'm kind of curious, what is it about certain characters that you've created in the past that makes you go you know what? I want to bring that, now that I have enough, notoriety, I want to bring that character back, structure a show around said character. What is it?
I think it's those old dreams, kind of. It's like with Little Longlegs is a character that's from my very first ever Fox, pilot script. Jack Black, executive producing, helped me sell a show, and this is in 2007, I think, or maybe, I think it was 2007, so forever ago, and I had a character named Little Longlegs, which was this weird little malformed, little guy with long legs, and he was never in Paloni's, never. But I was like, oh man, I gotta have that character. And the new, now I'm rebuilding the show, right? I can't have it be the same as what's the one you referenced, because it's literally Rick and Morty, You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like I can't. It's too close to that. I don't even want to deal with it. So it's more that, but then we added Pam Adlon as Cheruce Paloni, the sister, and she's just completely at odds with the brothers in terms of how the show should work and all that. But then Little Longlegs is their cousin, and Little Longlegs is an old idea that I've not let go of. I'm like, this has to happen at some point in something, and I just didn't know what it was.
Solar Opposites is renewed for a 4th season, which I'm super duper excited for. Y'all are dumping Corvo and Terry into the working force to an office, but before we get that, that's coming out like in 2023. But before that, we're getting a Halloween special, another one.
Yeah, it's gonna sit next to this Paloni's thing.
Yeah, what can you tell us about it?
It's great. It's just a fun episode of the show. It's really, really Crypt Keeper centric, let's just say. Very focused on the Crypt Keeper, even though that's not a Disney / Hulu property. We really focused in on the Crypt Keeper. I don't know how the legally we're getting away with it.
You have a Crypt Keeper type character?
Let's just say the Crypt Keeper is a big part of the special. I don't know if I'm giving away too much, but it's very Crypt Keeper centric. If you're a fan of the Crypt Keeper, I don't know if we say Crypt Keeper. I think we do straight up just say Crypt Keeper. Look, I don't know how we got away with it. I'm just gonna tell you, I don't know, but watch it, do the math. Maybe these big giant conglomerate streaming companies, maybe there's a little more forgiveness than we all thought there was, you know?
Now, Justin, when you're like kind of developing gags or like ongoing plots for your shows, like in Solar Opposites, you have The Wall. Like, what's the creative process like for something like that? Like, do you like typically like start with the premise first and then kind of like build upon that? Like the writing process for a season, there's a lot of blue sky in the beginning of the season about like, okay, what do we want to do? Yeah. Like for the larger arc, The Wall specifically. The Wall is more of like, okay, let's kind of map this out and pitch and play and see what is the bigger picture. And that all happens in the early phases of the season. And then the solar stuff is way more episodic. So there's like blue sky kind of a lot throughout the course of writing the season. But the Wall stuff is like, we kind of come in strong with knowing what we're gonna do for that particular season. So it's like, I mean, God, I'm probably gonna get confused with season 4. I'm not gonna talk about season 4, but season. You can.
Yeah,
I won't stop you.
No, there's some really crazy shit in The Wall season 4, but like season 3, that's the one with like there's a killing, there's murder, there's a murder mystery going on, right? And that's an early days, like that's like early Solar writers room kind of like, okay, we know we're gonna do murder mystery, and then it's like McMahon says. It's almost like a bunch of comedy writers get to play or get to like role play as like drama writers, which is totally what's happening. And yeah, I mean, I feel out of my element because I feel like McMahon and Bicel really should be here to jump in because like they are really like the beating heart of Solar. Like they're fucking incredible. I couldn't be happier or more lucky to be working with them.
Now, I'm kind of curious, like, since this is State of Streaming, I'm kind of curious, like, what is it like in the writer's room? Like, so, like, Solar Opposites, it drops all at once, but then, you know, you've worked on shows that are kind of more, like, week to week. Like, is the writing process kind of different, would you say? Like, or would you approach it differently? Like, oh, this is going to be released at once, as opposed to, like, a weekly show?
That's a really awful question. No, I'm kidding. No, that's a good question. Hey, listen, let's not beat him up. Let's not beat him up. Oh God.
Okay, they're right over there.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
No. That's a really question, and that's a question. No. I'm just joking. No, I don't even know. Like, how honest do I want to be here? I think from my experience, from what I've seen, the shows that drop all at once, you gotta have them all tidy a little earlier. Yeah. Whereas something like Rick and Morty, I'm doing pickups 2 weeks before air. I don't know exactly where it's gonna land because we've got to do. This is where I'm getting into the weeds here, but on Rick and Morty we have to like ship them. They got to do localization in other countries. So now because they're doing like a global drop of the whole thing, which is incredible, by the way. It's a feat in and of itself. But yeah, I feel like that's the difference. I guess is like just I'm doing pickups like. I'm still doing Rick and Morty pickups as we go. Like, and then Solar's like, we're done with it. It's done earlier, I guess. Yeah. It's kind of, you know, okay. Rick and Morty's still getting like polish and rewrites and yeah, all the way up to the absolute.
Right up to the wire.
Yeah, right up to the, okay, we have to send it off for localization, yeah.
Now, one last question for you, Justin. I know we talked about this at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
But Koala Man.
Yeah.
Is there any updates you can possibly give us?
I don't think so. I mean, all I know is that season 1 is. I have updates, but I don't think I can say anything. Season 1 is amazing. Michael Cusack and company. Dan and Benji, or wait, am I getting that wrong? It's not Dan, is it? It's Benji and, watch me be right. Cut this out if it's wrong.
Like, honestly, like, if we're gonna be honest here, I almost called you Dan a couple of times.
Please do. That would make me feel at least like, better about everything. Or just call me Jimmy or Jacob or Jason or something. I'd be like, oh, thank God. I'm off the hook. I can be human too.
Yeah, but you were right though. It's Dan and Benji. I just wanted to let you sweat.
It is Dan and Benji. You fucking knew it.
I wanted to let you sweat.
You could have just told me that.
Come
I knew
on.
I was right. Anyway, those guys, Michael, incredible. The show is really special. I think Dan and Benji are like, they're pushing some really cool, awesome. That show is really gonna blossom into something. Yeah. Like I can't say anything, but like the show's great. I love it. I'm a huge fan of Michael and his voice, and it is an Australian-centric like animated comedy, but it has the bones of like Western, animated, like some of the better like stuff that we do, in the West. Yeah, although I do think we need to, as Western animators, push a little bit of that, quality Japanese anime, serialized, maybe not as jokey. Can we get a show like that? I don't know. Are the executives ready for it?
That's up to you, Justin. I mean, like,
I'm
you're
trying.
doing a good job, but you're too busy, man. You got your hands in everywhere.
I'm
but
trying.
Like, honestly, as like an animation fan, like I'm super excited, and like, quite honestly, I'm very excited to talk to you again. I'm so glad I was able to. This was freaking phenomenal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This
Do we
great.
not want to talk about High on Life, my video game? Nothing at all.
I mean,
it's pretty hot. IGN is pretty into it apparently.
Look,
I mean,
you already know we're gonna be all over that game. Like
I'm super grateful. We're a small indie studio, and we're just making our dream project, and everyone at the studio is buzzing right now. It's crazy. We just appreciate you guys. Like, I know Craig Harris, the angel above us, he's beaming his Craig Harris energy down onto us, and that's what's happening, I think.
Well, I'm gonna take you to where we actually keep him. We house him in the basement here.
He's chained
Justin,
up. He's chained up.
Thank you so much. Now, a sinister Halloween scary opposite solar special is coming soon. Koala Man is coming soon. The Paloni Show Halloween special is also coming soon, all to Hulu, and more of IGN's State of Streaming coming soon. I think right now. So stick around.
IGN State of Streaming 2022 is presented by 5 Hour Energy Shots for every late night streaming session, and presented by T-Mobile.